All right, listen carefully, because the story I'm about to tell you isn't a rumor or a legend or something made up to scare kids. No, this actually happened. And trust me, by the time I'm done, you'll think twice before sleeping alone in a quiet room. Let me tell you the real story of the boy who lived in room 317 before Rohan ever arrived. Before Rohan ever stepped into room 317, there was someone else living there, Arav. No one knew where he came from. He transferred mid-semester, no welcome, no friends, and honestly, no one wanted to get close to him. The whispers. From day one, students whispered behind his back. He doesn't blink. He talks to himself at night. Bro, he walks like he's listening to something. Normal voice again. And hey, you know how colleges are. Rumors spread faster than Wi-Fi. But with Arav, the rumors were real, changing rooms. Arav changed rooms twice, not because he wanted to, but because his roommates were begging to be moved, imitating scared students. He stands next to my bed at 4 a.m. I woke up. He was staring at the ceiling, whispering numbers. Bro, I swear he held my ankle one night, and at first everyone laughed it off, until they saw Arav's eyes. Not tired, not depressed, just hollow, like someone who hasn't properly slept in years. Samir, the final roommate. Samir, his last roommate, he really tried to put up with him, but then tap, tap, tap. One night, Samir wakes up to that sound. He thinks, okay, maybe a pipe, maybe Arav moving. So he turns the lights on, and Arav isn't moving at all. He's sitting completely still, hands not touching anything, fingers floating above the bed frame, yet the tapping keeps going. Samir said his breath just froze. And then Arav whispered, without even moving his lips, "You hear it too?" The knocking. Samir stutters. Well, what's making that sound? Arav slowly turns his eyes toward him and says, "That's not tapping. It's knocking." Samir didn't sleep after that. Would you? The thing under the bed. Arav never used the bed. Like ever. He always sat on the edge, staring at the wall. So Samir finally asks him, "Why do you sit like that all night?" Arav doesn't answer for minutes, just breathes, slow, like he's thinking. Then suddenly he says, "I'm keeping it in." Samir's skin crawls. Keeping what in? And Arav points down, not at the wall, not at the floor, directly under the bed. Samir checks once, just once. He lifts the blanket. Tsh. Something shifts. A long shadow slides out of sight. Samir jumps back, slams his head on the wall. And Arav, does he help? Comfort him? No. You opened the door a little. Now it knows you. Samir moved out by sunrise. Didn't even pack properly. The night no one talks about. Neighbors heard things the next few nights. Dragging. Something scraping across the wooden floor. Long, slow, scratching. And Arav screaming, "Not tonight! I'm not sleeping tonight! You can't make me!" But the worst part? The screams would stop, mid-sentence, as if someone covered his mouth. One student swore he heard two voices, Arav's voice, and another, deep, inhuman, whispering, "Just close your eyes." But whenever the staff unlocked the room, silence, just Arav, sitting on the bed, facing the wall, the room ice cold around him. The last night. On his final night, Arav did something nobody expected. He turned his bed around. For the first time, he faced it. He was shaking so badly his bed frame rattled. He kept muttering, "I'll sleep on my terms, not yours, not tonight, not again." Students heard the bed creak, and then a thud, and then Nothing. When they found him, eyes open, neck stiff, staring at the floor, it looked like he'd tried to scream, but never got the chance. Doctors wrote, respiratory failure during sleep. Yeah, right. After. Room 317 stayed empty for months. Every new student refused. The room smells like cold breath. I saw fingerprints inside the mattress. The bed moves on its own. One staff member quit after claiming he saw a pale boy sitting on the bed, head tilted. But the security cameras? There was no one inside. And then, finally the college said, assign a new freshman. He won't know the history. And that unlucky freshman was Rohan. The moment he stepped in, the temperature dropped. As if Arav had been waiting. Waiting not for help, not for closure, but for someone to switch places with him.